Hare Krishna. Devotee can open their phone, Yashomati Nandan, this song they can open. By that time we'll arrange on the screen.
Yashomati Nandana Vrajavara Nagara. Everybody together. Yashomati Nandana Yashomati Nandana Vrajavara Nagara. Yashomati Gokula Ranjana Khana Gokula Ranjana Gopi Parana Dhana Madana Manohara Gopi Kaliya Damana Vidhana Amala Hari Nama Vilasa Amala Hari Nama Vipina Purandara Nabina Nagara Vora Vipina Purandara Vamshivadana Suvasa Brajajana Palana Surakula Nashana Nanda Godhana Rakhavala Nanda Godhana Rakhavala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Sundara Nanda Gopala Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasana Hara Yamuna Tata Gopi Rasa Rasika Kripa Moya Rasa Rasika Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Shri Radha Vallabha Natavara Vakati Vinodashraya Vakati Yashomati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Khana Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare यशोदानंदन यशोदा दामोदर की जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी वल्लभा यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladev Jaya Subhadra Jaya Sudarshana Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you to Sri Radha Madan Mohan's temple on this most auspicious day of Diwali. In your own Veda base, you can take the 10th canto. It's displayed? Okay. 9th chapter. There are only 21 shlokas in this chapter. I will cover most of them today. That's a very important chapter, which exactly happened on the Diwali day. It happened. And this too, not even just Diwali day, it's a Diwali day in Vrindavan. It's a very special chapter. But before entering into this chapter of intimate, confidential pastimes of Lord Krishna with his own most intimate devotee mother, Yashoda, we definitely should have a background, because if this philosophy, if this pastime is approached only from a philosophical point of view, there are many people who commit the blunder of mistaking Krishna to be an ordinary child. Or if somebody approaches this pastime only like a behavior of a small child, in this world even a childish pranks are very attractive. Is it not true? If you see like that, you will enjoy some fun, but that is considered a sahajaism. Sahajaism means taking the Lord's pastimes cheaply. People may enjoy Krishna's babyhood pastimes with Yashoda, and then again they will be again absorbed in worldly things. Therefore, we need a combination of philosophical backing on one hand and be able to see that absolute truth playing this pastime of a small child in the home of Yashoda. See, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a very beautiful verse which says, Vishwata paramam nityam vishwam narayanam harim vishwame vedam purushas tad vishwam upajivati. The meaning of this verse is, Vishwata paramam nityam, Lord Narayana or Lord Hari is beyond the universe, he says, and he is eternal. And he says, Vishwam Narayanam Harim. And the Supreme Lord himself is called the universe. In the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram, the first word out of 1,000 names is what? Vishwam. Vishwam Vishnurva Shatkaro. That's how it begins. Why this whole universe is called as Lord? Because everything you see in this universe comes from Him. Yato va imani bhutani jayante. This is a Shruti mantra. Like this table has come from Krishna. This glass has come from Krishna. This kartal has come from Krishna. This laptop materials have come from Krishna. Everything has come from Him. And if we can deeply understand this point, we will never be separated from Krishna. Wherever you turn around in this world, His Grace Sankarshandas Adhikari Prabhu, he was telling in his brahmachari days, they would read the Bhagavad Gita as it is, and they would come out in the street and they would see tall buildings, and immediately they would think, Bhumirapo nalo ayukam, mano buddhire vacha, ahankara iti yam, me. Me means, Krishna says, this is material energy, which is my energy. And then they would watch in the road, people would be running very fastly. People would be walking, or people would be very fastly moving in their cars. And immediately he would think, Apreyam mitastwanyam prakritim viddhi me param. These are all jivas who are running here and there in three gunas, conducted by illusory energy, Maya Shakti. So he was telling that when you study the philosophy well, with that perspective you see the world around you called Shastra Chakshu. There is only two prominent energies in this world, matter and spirit. So in this way, all this matter and spirit ultimately comes from the Supreme Lord, Krishna, who expands himself as Narayana. You will see that, that's why he's saying, Vishwata Paramam Nityam Vishwam Narayanam Harim Vishwame Vedam Purushaha. He is saying, the universe is utterly dependent on him. Like for example, you have a dress on your body now. The dress cannot function on its own. It is totally dependent on your movement. When you lift the hand, the dress will also move up. When you put the hand down, your shirt will also come down. Similarly, everything in this world is totally dependent on him. That's why we say not even a blade of grass can move without his sanction. Yeah. And in the Bhagavatam also, Lord says that Madhbhayat vati vatoyam suryastapati madhbhayat varishati yandro dahatyagnir mrityushcharati madhbhayat. By my order, the sun is rising in the morning, he says. By my order, the wind is blowing. By my order, the Lord of showers, Indra, is showering down rains. By my order, the grains are popping out of the ground. The vegetables are coming, fruits are coming. It's all by my order, the Lord is saying. So it is not by any scientist's order that the sun is moving. Scientists can neither move the sun nor stop the sun. They can only watch the sun moving, that's all. Nobody can move any of this. You cannot make the sun rise or moon rise or wind blow. Or it's not in our hands. We are jivas, we are just a witness to all these things. It's all done by the Lord. So Lord is conducting this beautiful universe around us, benefiting all the living entities in varieties of ways, providing us the sweet waters of the clouds, providing us everything. So in this way, the whole universe is made by Him, maintained by Him, destroyed by Him, and is a source of everything, the ultimate truth. Now, for example, say take for example a Tata Sumo. You don't expect Tata Sumo vehicle moving on the road along with Tata sitting in it, saying that I am the creator of this Tata Sumo. Do you expect? If boy tells you, hey, Tata Sumo vehicle is moving, but I don't see Tata, so I don't believe that Tata is the creator. If somebody says like that. I think this Tata Sumo came on its own, if somebody says like that. So you don't expect Tata Sumo to be sitting in every vehicle and saying that I am here, I am here. You don't expect like that. Because Tata makes all the vehicles, the millions of them, and then sends it all over the world, isn't it? On the contrary, Lord Krishna, not only He creates everything in this world, first He creates millions of universes from His pores of His body. Yasyaika nishvasita kala mathavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanata. It is said, from the pores of his body, Mahavishnu's body, all the universes are coming out. And after that he enters into each universe. And then in that universe also he enters into each atom and in the hearts of everybody. So he is personally present. But at the same time, he is absent for the atheistic people. They cannot see. But for those who are devotees, the Lord says that they will see me in their heart. Dhyana avastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino. How amazing he is. There is not a single place where he is not present. He is present within even an atom also. And he is present in the heart of everybody. So you cannot miss him anywhere, nor can you escape his witness anywhere. So he creates everything and he enters into everything. Anta pravishta, the word is used. He enters into everything and is watching everything. He is supremely powerful. Like jnana, bala, virya, aishwarya, shakti, teja. These 6 opulences you will see, they are so powerful. His jnana, his knowledge is so great that he knows every one of our names. He knows every one of our karmic account. He knows in what lifetime you did what. Exact record he can give you. He also can tell you how many hairs you have on your head. Even if I ask you, any of you, do you know how many hairs you have on your head? You cannot say that. I am not asking about my head. My head is shaven. But think about it. Even about your own head you don't know. But Lord knows how many hairs you have. When did the baby tooth fall and the new tooth come? Lord knows all these things. Every detail. When we put a morsel of food in the mouth, we don't know what happens to it inside. But Lord knows every bit of what's happening. Many times doctors also detect a disease, but they don't know full information many times. They say, go for CT scan, go for this, go for that. They're also saying, I'm also confused, not very sure. But Lord precisely knows about everyone and everything. So his jnana, millions of universes, millions of living entities, he knows about each and every one of them. And he is always with you in your heart as super soul. Similarly, each of them can be explained. Bala, Prabhupada says that we can make so many things in this world, but you cannot make a sun which is the emitter of light for the whole world. And who is supplying fuel to the sun? Is somebody regularly supplying for it to run? Ashesha Teja. It's going on for millions and millions of years. You can see that. Prabhupada was approached by one man who said in Honolulu, Swamiji, man is sending jumbo jet 747 on the sky. See how much he has become advanced. Prabhupada said, when the petrol is over, it will come down. On the other hand, Prabhupada said, look at Saturn or Jupiter, such big planets. They are going on and on. You are not supplying petrol to that. This is Krishna's creation. Your creation stops after some time. Krishna's creation goes on and on. If you want to destroy, he can destroy. If you want to create, he can create. So, therefore, the very first thing in our spiritual life is to understand how great Krishna is. And the most amazing thing with Krishna is explained in the Shruti mantras. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, natat samascha abhyadikascha drishyate, parasya shaktir vividaiva shruyate, swabhavaki jnana balakriyacha. This verse says that Krishna has no work to do. This can be most surprising to anybody. You say God is the source of everything, is maintaining everything. How he can have no work to do? In this world also, many men who go to offices, actually they are waiting to earn sufficient money so that they can stop doing job and relax. You can ask anybody. I'll earn out some money, I'll go to America, earn out some money so that me and my parents and wife and children, we can live happily, peacefully. We want to stop the work, but nobody is able to stop till last breath. Everybody is working very hard. On the contrary, the Shastras say that although Lord is sending many, many avatars to various Brahmandas, he is creating so many things, but he expands himself as Mahavishnu, Garbhadaksha Vishnu, Kshiradaksha Vishnu. He doesn't do it himself. Creation Leela is another Leela which Krishna doesn't directly take part. His expansions run the show. For example, in Pune, there is one Parshari fellow. This fellow has 20 houses, bungalows, independent bungalows with garden and everything. So once he decided that he will demolish his house and make a bigger one for himself. So what do you think he has to do? He has to throw some money to some people. And he can stay in one of the 10 houses, and all the other 10 houses he can demolish and modify if he wants. Everything he gets done through money. Because he is a Krodpati. But Krishna is not just Krodapati. He is not Arapati or Karapati. He is Lakshmipati. If he tells Lakshmi, she will do everything. Isn't it? He is the owner of all wealth, of not only this earth, of all the millions of universes. So therefore, for Krishna to do Parasa Shakti Vivida Shruyate, he gets it all done from his Shaktis and his expansions. Everything he can very easily do, swiftly do, just by Icha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. He desires and it will be done. Imagine Matajis go to the kitchen and they want to make dosa. As soon as Mataji looks at the plate, like that, imagine there are 20 dosas ready. And look at the sabji, and sabji is ready. How nice it will be. All Matajis can relax. But we cannot make things like that simply by desiring. After desiring, we have to get into Kriya Shakti. After Icha comes, Kriya, we have to do action. Whereas he doesn't have to do action. Simply by desiring, he can get things done. That's why it said, Saha Aikshata. He glances at the material creation, Sa Asrijata. That's created. This is also Shruti mantra. Lord glances at the material creation and he creates it. Simply by glance. Therefore, in Bible also it is said, Lord said, let there be light, there was light. Correct, no? It's a fact actually. When Krishna wants the sun can come immediately. Whatever it is. But more details are given in Bhagavatam, very elaborately, how the Sankhya philosophy explains, everything came about. Systematically, scientifically it explains. So, therefore, one should know the prowess of the Lord in terms of these 6 qualities. Jnana, Bala, Virya, Aishwarya, Shakti, Teja, all these things, different qualities. So, Lord is supremely mighty, supremely powerful. But in the spiritual world, he doesn't have any this type of duty to do by creating material world, destroying material world. People say God means G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer. People think this is a most important work of God. Oh, this is the least important work for him. This is not his main activity. His main activity is beyond this generating, operating and destroying, which is to enjoy loving pastimes with his devotees in the spiritual world. So he is actually called as Rasika Shekhara. Rasika Shekhara means one who delights in spending time with his devotees, playing pranks with them, joking with them, laughing with them, playing with them. Because devotees are pure-hearted, their hearts are filled with pure love. Krishna's heart is also filled with pure love. So spiritual world is filled with pure loving exchanges. And there is no other motive. There is no motive with which you connect with people. In this world, people connect with some contact, hoping that I can get some monetary support or I can get some recommendation for getting a job or something. Everybody in this world connects with some material motives in mind, in the material world. Whereas the Lord's pure devotees simply go to offer him their heart's love. They have no expectation from him. In fact, Lord is eager to give them something. They don't want anything. So, therefore, when Krishna connects with such pure-hearted devotees, that's where the spiritual world becomes a very, very amazing place, because where there is pure love, we become subordinated by that. You will see that, for example, if all of you, if I ask you about your mother or father, you have seen their sacrifices. You have seen how much efforts they have made for your sake. And to please you, how much they have worked hard. So simply remembering them, you cherish those thoughts and you want to do something in reciprocation with them. Is it not true? So, in the same manner, when Lord sees my pure devotees are coming to me to offer me service and love without expecting anything, then he also wants to reciprocate with them. That's why this whole chapter, the 10th canto, 9th chapter is about reciprocation of love between Lord and his pure devotees. So, one time in Vrindavan, there was one gopi who was selling makan. In Vrindavan, selling means it's barter system. Like somebody gives you makan and you give rice or wheat back. Or somebody gives you butter and then you give back some vegetables to them. They just exchange the things. They don't deal with money. So when she was going in the street, she was a hawker. She was saying, makan lo, but unknowingly, due to her intense love for Krishna as a darling child, She was saying, Makanlo, Madhavlo, Makanlo, Madhavlo, like that she was saying. So as soon as Krishna saw that somebody is calling me lovingly as Madhava, guess what he did? He came running outside the house. So he went and stood in front of her and said, you called Madhava, I am here, he said. She said, okay, get me some grains for taking Makan. Krishna said, see, I didn't ask you for Makan, you brought it. And you called me. So he broke the pot and ate the Makan. And he ran away. And then Krishna saw that she is chasing after him. So he ran to Yashoda and said, Maya, Maya, see this gopi is always chasing after me. Keep her in control. He was telling. So he performs this type of playful pastimes. So Mother Yashoda saw that this fellow always is getting complaints of stealing butter in different homes in Vrindavan. So she thought that I should rectify this bad habit in him. Now, why should God steal from somebody? It's like saying, God is a millionaire, he is going to somebody else to ask for some, 10 rupees or 20 rupees. So, he is the Lakshmipati, then why would he steal? Everything is owned by him. That type of stealing is done out of love. This is that's why I told you the relationship. Like for example, I saw one devotee was about to eat prasadam when we went for Vrindavan Yatra. So they had given one son babdi to everybody. So in his plate also there is a big son babdi, almost double size what others are getting. So his friend was sitting next to him. So this fellow folded his palm and closed his eyes and said, Mahaprasad, go in the prayer. When he opened his eyes, son babdi was missing. His friend was hiding it. So he was almost about to make him cry, then he gave it back to him. Because he is a very thick friend, he can afford to play such games. Anybody cannot do that. Correct, no? Only when you have an intimate relationship, you may play such things. Like you see, mother or father, sometimes they pick up a child and they throw up in the air. Correct, no? And child is crying or laughing? Laughing. Because of the trust in the parents. Isn't it? Imagine if policeman is catching a child and putting. Will they be able to laugh? By looking at him only, they will be afraid. So, for such loving exchanges of stealing and everything, one needs very sweet, loving, intimate relationship. Then only such pastimes are possible. And Yashoda had such a sweet relation. The original motherhood and childhood comes from Yashoda and Krishna. Wherever you see a mother and child sitting, immediately you should remember that this motherhood is coming originally from Yashoda and Krishna. In this world, the mother is also a jiva, child is also a jiva. All the jivas are taking false roles in this world. Somebody becomes a man, some jiva becomes a woman. Some jiva is in a woman's body, some jiva is in a man's body, some jiva is in a child's body, some jiva is in a dog's body, cat's body. Whereas all the jivas are all Prakritis, devotees of Krishna. Their relationship is originally with whom? With Krishna. Whereas in this world, we are assuming false roles, like a drama. Sometimes in a drama, you may take one particular role, but that is only till the end of the drama. Then you get out. In another drama, you may take another role. Like that, Jiva is taking different roles in this world because we have forgotten our connection with him. But once you revive that connection in spiritual world, just like Yashoda has a motherly relation with Krishna, we can have a friendly relation with him. Prabhupada says, if you make Krishna your friend, that friend will never die. If you make Krishna your darling child, that child will never die. And if you make Krishna your lover, like the gopis, they accepted Krishna as their supreme lover, and that lover will never die. He will always exist. Because our relationship with Krishna is eternal. So therefore, this chapter can rekindle our original love for Krishna, which is in a hidden state in our heart, which is covered over. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Grihadasishu Yashodananda Gehini Karmantara Niyuktasu Nirmamanta Swayam Dadhi. See, Ekada means one particular day, which is the Diwali day, which is today. It's also the day of the Indra Puja. So, later on, subsequently, Govardhan Puja will happen also. That is a particular day. And Grihadashishu Karmantara Niyaktasu, he is saying, which means there were many, many servant maids in the Yashoda Bhavan. Yashoda and Nanda are actually king and queen of the entire Braja. They have no dearth of servants. But what she did that day, is saying that she engaged them all karmantra niyuktasu. She is saying, engaged them in various activities, and she thought that I will myself make butter for my child, Krishna. Why? She had that spiritual pride of thinking that my servant maids may burn the butter. They may not do it properly. I will do it myself. And I will go for the best quality milk of the Padmagandha cows, whose milk is like fragrant, like a lotus fragrance. So, and here it is said Nanda Gehini. Why the word Nanda Gehini is used? Gehini is actually a female wife, but the word Nanda is used because Nanda's love for Krishna is also equally comparable like Yashoda's love for Krishna. So Shukadeva Goswami right in the beginning itself is saying, while glorifying Yashoda, don't forget Krishna's father Nanda, who is also a great lover of Krishna. And then Nirmamanta Swayam Dadhi, saying she herself wanted to churn the butter and make for Krishna. Yani yani gitani tadbala charitani cha dadi nirmanthane kale smaranti tanya gayata. So Yashoda was singing various songs, Yani Yani Gitani, based on Krishna's activities. Like for example, like every day Krishna would kill some demon in the forest and come, isn't it? So then the Vrajavasis in general and Yashoda in specific, they would coin a poem based on Krishna's killing of the demon, and they would be singing. In this way, Krishna does many activities in Vrindavan, like he lifts the Govardhan hill, he dances on the hoods of thousand-hooded snake, Kaliya, isn't it? He steals butter from the homes of different people, he swallows the forest fire, he kills Aghasura, Bakasura. Once he brought Trinavarta crashing down from the sky to the ground. Another time with his lotus feet, he just kicked the bottom of a bullock cart and then killed the Shakatasura. So all these things were converted into poetry form, and Yashoda would be Charitani, Bala Charitani, Krishna's glorious activities. Now here, although Krishna appears like a Bala, Tad Bala Charitani cha, he is not an ordinary Bala. Tamadbhutam Balakamambu Jekshanam. Like that, there is a verse in Krishna's Advent chapter. He is Adbhuta Balakam. Why? Because when he appeared in the jail of Kamsa, the whole jail became lit up. Can any of us say in the night when you walk, your body is glowing and dissipating light? Krishna's body is like that. And this was not a crying child. He was a smiling child as soon as he was born. It was not a dumb child. It was a speaking child. He actually told his mother and father about their two previous births also. And by Krishna's will, the jail door opened and all the chains in the hands and legs of Vasudeva was torn asunder. And Vasudeva could carry him in a basket and take him to Nanda Gokulam. That is the prowess of this child. He is not an ordinary child. Which child in this world you have seen can open the mouth and show? Of course, every child can open mouth and show. But what cannot they show? All the universes in their belly. Who can show that? Isn't it? Therefore, Lord's every limb of his body can be glorified. From his navel comes a lotus in which the first created living being Brahma is born. Isn't it? When same Lord Purushottama as Rama, he just touches his foot to a stone and Ahilya comes out. So see the divinity of his lotus feet, and see the divinity of his navel, see the divinity of his hands, Varada Mudra, you can see. So simply by touching Arjuna's wounds in Arjuna's body in the battle, Krishna could make them disappear. So therefore one should meditate on the divinity of Krishna's Rupam. Therefore he says, Kavim Puranam Manushasitaram Anoraniyam Samanusmaredya Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam. He uses the word Achintya Rupam. I have a form But that form is not like your form or any other form. All of us have forms in this world, but our senses have so many limitations. Like with our eyes, we can barely see many things. When there is Amavasya day, you cannot see even your own hand also. Whereas you can see Krishna's eyes are so powerful. You can see he is bringing living entities from spiritual world, and those who want to take birth in this world, he is able to saha asrijata, saha aikshata, he says. His eyes are so powerful. As Lord Ramachandra, he made the whole ocean boil by mere glance. So one should know the power of his eyes, power of his hands, power of his lotus feet, power of his form. His form is Aniyor Aniyan, Mahator Magyan. He can be as big as the Virat Purusha or Vishwarupa, and he can be as small as a baby in the lap of Yashoda. So therefore, knowing the prowess of Krishna, one should hear this pastime. So here it says, Tad Balacharitanija. She was delighting in singing the pastimes of Krishna very joyfully. Dadi nirmanthane kale smaranti tanyagayata. She was remembering all those activities. So we should actually sing Krishna's glories with our mouth, but we should also remember the same in our mind also. Like we were just now singing few minutes ago, like we were singing, Braja Jana Palana Surakula Nashana. Braja Jana Palana Surakula Nashana. Nanda Godhana Rakhavala. Nanda God. Nanda Godhan Rakhavale Gopal Bhagwan ki. Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara. Navanita Taskar Makanchor Bhagwan ki. Sundara Nanda Gopala. Sundara Nanda Gopala. Sundar Gopal Bhagwan ki. Like that you can remember, every line is talking about one of his activities, isn't it? So Asurakula Nashana, when you say, immediately think of all the asuras that he killed. Like you see Putana, Agasur, Bakasur, all the different asuras. So in this way, Smaranti, she was remembering the activities of Krishna in the mind, at the same time singing very joyfully, not ritualistically, like that. So in the purport, Prabhupada, actually Prabhupada wrote purport up to 14th chapter of the 10th canto. This is 9th chapter. So Prabhupada is saying here, in the purport you will see, in the second para you will see, the fourth line, second para. It appears that Mother Yashoda did not want to forget Krishna's activities at any time. Therefore she poeticized all of Krishna's childhood activities, such as killing of Putana, Akasura, Shakadasura, Trinavarta. And while churning the butter, she sang about these activities in poetical form. This should be the practice of persons eager to remain Krishna conscious 24 hours a day. You see? Which means sing Krishna's songs and then remember it in your mind. Remember the meaning of that. Like he sings, Satyavrat Muni is singing, Namameshwaram Satchit Anandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. He's saying, Namami, very first word is saying, I bow down. To whom? Namami Ishwaram. He is not an ordinary child. He is a Param Yeshwara, Supreme Lord, he is saying. And don't think his body is made of Panchamahabhut like our body. His body is made up of Satchidananda Rupam. He is saying, it's made of Satchidananda Swarupam. And then he is saying, Lasat Kundalam. He is having a beautiful earring which is moving to and fro when he is running. And although he is wearing necklace, he is wearing a jeweled belt, he is having bracelets and armlets, he is wearing nupur. Why is he not talking about any of them? Because the earrings are repeatedly kissing his cheeks. So therefore he considers the earring to be most fortunate. Because every time Krishna runs, it kisses his cheeks. So he's saying, Lasat Kundalam, shining earrings. So, Yashoda Viyolukaladhavamanam Paramrishtam Atyanta Todrutya Gopya. So Yashoda is running, Krishna is running, both are running. But Yashoda, by her love, exceeded the speed of Krishna. How can anybody exceed Krishna's speed? In the Ishopanishad, if you read, it says, Anejate kam manaso javiyo naina deva apnuvan purvamarshad tadhavatonya tishthat tasmin napo matarishva dadati. That verse says, many demigods wanted to have a race with Krishna. And all of them were running and Krishna was walking. Still, who came first? Krishna came first. How is it possible? Because he is the absolute truth. Supreme Lord. So nobody can catch his speed. Kalayavana tried catching Krishna. Jarasandha tried catching Krishna. All of them miserably failed. Only Yashoda could catch him because of her pure love for him. So Lord can be captured and controlled by only pure love. There is nothing else that can bring him under control. So, and because how did she control him? By remembering him and singing his glories. Like that. So, third verse. Kramam vasa pratukatitate bibrati sutranadham. Putra sneha snuta kucha yugam jata kampam cha subruhu. Rajvakarsha shrama bhuja chalat kankanau kundalecha. Srinnam vaktram kavara vigalan malati nirmamantha. See, Yashoda is wearing a yellow color bright saree, and she has tied a belt to her, this thing in her hip, and a rope, and she is churning the butter. Putra sneha snuta kucha yugam. From her breast, milk is oozing out of putra sneha, of the affection for the child. And in this way, with her eyes semi-closed, with her moving both her hands, she is churning. So this is a verse which describes the form of Yashoda, how she looks like. What was her appearance? You can see that in the path of bhakti there is a parishrama, there is an effort to be made. Lord doesn't like people who want to keep themselves in comfort zone. When one makes an effort, the Lord becomes pleased by the effort of the devotee. He says that, yatantascha dridabrata, my devotees with great determination, they endeavor to attain me. So sometimes people ask, why did Prabhupada undergo 2 heart attacks and he had to go by Jaladuta? He is Krishna's pure devotee. Krishna could have arranged a flight for him very easily. And also in America, some 1,000 devotees could have welcomed him. See, if everything happened so smoothly like a bed of roses, we won't have so much attraction and affection and feelings for Prabhupada. If Krishna made everything rosy and cozy. Isn't it? So, Prabhupada is a pure devotee, but still Krishna wants to show the humanness of the devotee, human side of the devotee. How my devotee struggles to serve me. Yeah. He wants to also see whether we are serious about attaining him. So, therefore, one should make an effort up to the point of getting a pinch in the body. Everybody has to make an effort in Krishna consciousness. Like Ekadashi day, we chant some extra rounds. We chant. Some days you have to fast also till noon or whatever. Some days the seva is increased more and more. So in this way, a devotee should not be lethargic, taking note from Yashoda's enthusiasm to serve Krishna. She can engage servants in doing that, but she herself is doing it. Just like the queens of Dwaraka also, they could engage any servant maid in fanning Krishna. Did they do that? When Krishna would return in the evening from his Sudharma assembly parliament, they would personally remove his shoes, wash his feet, and they would remove his crown and comb his hair, and they would do arati for him and give a plate of prasadam to him. When Krishna is eating the bhog, they would be fanning him personally standing. And Krishna very deeply appreciated their service attitude, their seva bhav. Personally they would do it. And that's a sign of one's affection. And Prabhupada also says that one should not just, like sometime in Vrindavan there are temples where some rich millionaire makes a temple and then employs somebody to do the work. So Prabhupada says that one should take personal interest in the Lord. Like Yashoda is taking personal interest. And so Prabhupada writes in the purport, anyone who desires to be Krishna conscious in motherly affection or parental affection should contemplate the bodily features of Mother Yashoda. Similarly, if one has to connect with Krishna in Sakhya Rasa, then Sridama, Sudama, Madhumangal, Subal, Bhadra, Rishabha, these are all the boys. Their description is very minutely given in the scriptures. What type of form they have, what is their look, what type of dress they wear, what type of jewelry they wear. Same with gopis also, Lalita, Vishaka, Tunga Vidya, Chitra, Angadevi, Sudevi, and all of them assisting Srimati Radharani, the 8 gopis. What you see in Mayapur, they are called the Paramaprishta Sakis, the 8 most intimate Sakis of Radha and Krishna. There are also others like Krishna Snehadika Sakis and Radha Snehadika Sakis, Nitya Saki, Prana Saki, many different categories. But what you see in Mayapur is the cream, most close associates. And they have particular type of face cut, particular type of ornaments they wear, certain colors are dear to them, certain services they do, like cooking. Champakalata is very expert in cooking, like that each of them. So therefore, anyone who becomes very advanced in spiritual life at a certain stage in Raga Bhakti, they have to meditate on either the covered boys or the Yashoda or gopis. And then when they can enhance their pure love for Krishna in that stage, like the Prabhupada is writing, advanced devotees must cherish this description, always thinking of Mother Yashoda's futures, how she was dressed, how she was working and perspiring, how beautifully the flowers were arranged in her hair, and so on. One should take advantage of full description provided here by thinking of Mother Yashoda in maternal affection for Krishna. So the more you think of Yashoda's maternal affection for Krishna, our affection for Krishna will also arise, he says. Tam stanya kama asadya matnantim jananim harihi grihitvadadhimanthanam nashedhar pritimavahan. So hearing that mother is singing his glories, his names, Krishna got up from his bed and he crawled towards Yashoda, and then he saw that Yashoda was completely absorbed in the service of churning. So Krishna wanted to ask her, Mother, who is your child? I am your child, or the churning rod is your child? You are completely focusing on it and not on me. So actually when Krishna touched the shoulder of Yashoda and got up, Yashoda just turned around and asked, Beta, tell me, what can I do? What do you want? And she was continuing her work also. Krishna didn't like it, because you are paying only half attention to me. So what he did, he again crawled and caught hold of the churning rod. By putting one foot on the butter pot, another foot on Yashoda's lap, and he caught hold of the churning rod. That time she saw the churning rod has stopped. Then she opened her eyes to see. Then she was amazed. My little child has become so strong that he is able to even stop the churning rod. And she smiled very delightfully, and Krishna also showed a beaming smile at mother. Why he smiled? He said, now you cannot rotate it anymore. Now you have to give up that and pay attention to me. So in this way, he became stanya kama word is used. See, this verse has got stanya kama. Next verse has got sanjata kopam. 2 words are used. See, the kamam and kopam are, these are all the qualities of conditioned souls. But here, the Lord is showing stanya kama means he was hungry for the breast milk from Mother Yashoda, it is said. Sanjata kopam means later on he'll become angry when Mother Yashoda leaves him and goes. So how he is exhibiting these kind of base qualities, you may wonder. There are 18 deficiencies of a conditioned soul. Like for example, conditioned soul becomes lusty or angry or greedy, or he tells lies, he becomes fearful. Like that there are 18 qualities. All these 18 qualities make the conditioned soul look pathetic in this world. But when the same 18 qualities manifest in the body of the absolute truth, Krishna, they become very attractive. For example, Krishna runs from the battlefield. He is called as Ranchodrai ki. And Krishna steals butter. He is called as Makanchor. Isn't Makanchor Bhagavan ki? Prabhupada says if a thief is stealing somebody's pocket and becomes a pickpocket, the police will remove the belt and whip him. Whereas when Krishna steals butter, he is glorified as Makanchor. Is it not true? Because these activities, when he does, it becomes very special. To give an illustration, you see, once our Prime Minister of India, he was doing yoga in those days when yoga became very prominent. And that went very viral. Now many of us may say, we are also doing yoga. Why it doesn't go viral? Because the important thing is who is doing it. Correct, no? When he is doing it. Similarly, in one picture, the Prime Minister was watering the plants. He established, I think, 8 crore plants in India, they said, at one time. Now photos are clicked and videos are made. One boy was telling, Prabhuji, even I can also keep a plant. What is so great about it? But plant anybody can keep, but who is keeping it is very important, correct, no? Cutting ribbon, even any of us can cut ribbon, correct, no? But when Prime Minister cuts it, it becomes special. Similarly, when Krishna, when he does an activity, a very simple activity, that becomes very attractive. So his anger is also attractive, childish anger. So sanjata stanya kama matnantim jananim hari. Actually, Krishna is always satisfied. What is because of Krishna? Even devotees are satisfied. Devotees are called Atmaram. Completely satisfied. So it's not that he is hankering for anything here, but he is hankering for exchanging pure love with his mother. Like, one man used to always glorify his mother to his wife because they had to leave the village and go to some faraway city. So he used to tell the wife that my mother used to cook this, my mother used to cook that. My wife used to always think, why this fellow glorifies his mother always? So then she asked, what is the item you like the most that your mother makes? He said, Rava Laddu, he said. So she made Rava Laddu. She brought the Rava, sugar and, kismis and elaichi and, cashew and fried cashew. And she made very, very roasted Rava and everything she made. Put ghee also, special ghee. And then she made this laddu. When husband ate it and wife asked, now you tell me, how is this? He said, it's very tasty, but not like the way the mother makes. He said, So she again became angry. What is so special about that? This man couldn't say why it is special, but what was special in that? Affection. The affection adds more flavor and more taste to the eatable. Similarly here, Yashoda's heart is so much full of love for Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is eager to eat from her hands or drink milk. You can see that. Yeah. So, actually one important thing is, Yashoda is calling his names very naturally, without any policy or rule or anything. Naturally she is calling his names. And Krishna also feels that, oh, my mother has gotten up very early on the Diwali day, 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And so I will also reciprocate with her sacrifices. So he also got up early. Generally he would get up little late, but he also got up early. And she sang his names, so he also reciprocated with her, with her seva bhava. Tamankamarodamapa yayatstanam Tamankamarodamapa yayatstanam Snehasnutam sasmitamikshati mukham Atraptamutsrajya javena sayaya Utsichyamane payasi tvaghishrite Adhishrite. Yeah. So, here is Tamankam Arudam. Ankam means the thighs. So he put one leg on the butter pot and another leg on Yashoda's thighs and climbed on her lap. As if to tell her that, this your lap is my property. You are my mother. And you should take me on your lap and not be inattentive, being busy with something else. So voluntarily, Krishna comes on her lap without even mother picking and keeping him on the lap. Just like voluntarily, Krishna goes to the home of Vidura. Although Duryodhana is inviting him to eat chapan bhog, but he is voluntarily going to the home of Vidura, you would say. Here also he is voluntarily going and sitting on the lap of his mother. So in this way, he says that Snehasnatam Sasmitamikshati Mukham. She looked at the beautiful face of her son. Yashoda was very charmed by it. Yeah. And now, when the milk was boiling in the kitchen at that time, the milk saw the affectionate dealing between mother and child. The milk thought it is going to go on forever. His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj has written a book called as Damodar. In that book I read something very amazing. He says in spiritual world there is nothing that is unconscious. For example, if you put rice in the pot and you go to garden to pluck flowers, if rice is ready, the rice will call out to you, "Hey Yashoda, I am ready now. So please come and bring me down." That means he says that everything is conscious. In spiritual world, door also, when you come, the door will automatically open. Of course, like airport also, door opens. But you have to keep a sensor there. But is airport door conscious? You ask a child, how is it opening? Because we have to go inside, it's opening. They don't know. The sensor path is blocked, it opens. Whereas in spiritual world, everyone and everything is conscious in the spiritual world. So, milk overflowing from the kitchen is not necessary. It's not going to overflow like that. Nevertheless, it is Yashoda's anxiety that what I am making for Krishna should not go in vain. She wanted to make sure that, because everything she does is only for Krishna only. So therefore, she wanted to protect, she actually wanted to train her son in protecting the wealth. Although she had lakhs of cows. Sometimes even a rich person wants to see that the son is trained in not wasting money. You might have seen, especially in certain Marwadi families, they may have a lot of money, but how did they collect so much money? Because they have been very strict about spending also. You have seen that? So here she wanted to train her son, just because you have everything lavish in our home, you should not waste. So she wanted to preserve that. Otherwise, what is it so great for her? Little bit of milk, isn't it? Yeah. So Prabhupada writes in the purport interesting thing. Sometimes one must take care of more than one item of important business for the same purpose. Therefore, Mother Yashoda was not unjust when she left her son on the mat and then she went inside for stopping the overflowing milk. On the platform of love and affection, it is the duty of the devotee to do one thing first and the other things later. This is called prioritization, correct, no? A proper intuition by which to do this is given by Krishna. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Krishna will give you which one to do first, which one to do next. He will give the intelligence, Prabhupada says. Sanjata kopas puritarunadharam sandashya dadbhir dadimanta bhajanam bhitpam rishashrur rishadashmanaraho jahasahayangavam antaram gataha. Yeah. So Krishna showed him Rishashru, which means he was actually showing tears in his eyes so that Yashoda will understand the importance of giving him company and not leaving him and going away. And here is what I told you, this Sanjata Kopa I told you. So actually Lord is called as the most peaceful. As Vishnu, you all know that when Bhrigu kicked on his chest, how did Vishnu behave? With so much patience. Did he become angry? No. So as Narayana, he behaves like that. But as Krishna here, he behaves with anger to enhance the sweetness of Vatsalya Rasa. Therefore he behaves like that here. Yeah. So further he says, so a few verses I will not recite in order to you know, complete this chapter. Let us go ahead to some of the important verses. Yeah. So some part of the pastime you have heard before. So I will summarize it for you. When Mother Yashoda went to the kitchen, Krishna thought, I will teach her a good lesson by doing some mischief. So he took a stone and he hit the butter pot. When it started flowing outside, so the like buttermilk was flowing from down and the butter pot was open from the top, it was broken. So he took the butter and he wanted to serve it to the monkeys. He wanted to eat it himself and serve it to the monkeys also. So he sat on the top of a okal. Okal is the grinding mortar. Why? Because when he was feeding the monkeys, some crows also came and sat. He was a little afraid of the crows. And he was afraid that the monkeys may scratch me. So he told the monkeys to eat, but don't come very near. So like a child would be afraid. He is not afraid of anybody, but his behavior is endearing to the heart of his devotees. So he sat on that and he was feeding them, and they were all eating very happily. So as he was doing this, Mother Yashoda returned back from the kitchen, and then she saw the butter footprint of Krishna. In my young age, I have seen on Janmashtami day, my mother would put 2 feet from the entrance of the house going to the sanctum sanctorum. So I asked her, whose foot are you drawing? She would say, this is Krishna's lotus feet. 2 feet will be there. In South India, some people do that, isn't it? In the homes, they do that. So, similarly, Krishna's footprint touched by the butter, when he had walked to the backyard of the house, Yashoda noticed that, and then she smiled. See here, a 9th verse you can see, 9th. Tamatayashtim prashamikshya satparas. See the word prasamiksha. He saw her vividly, Yashoda. Initially, Yashoda was coming from behind. And how did Krishna know that she's coming from behind? Because the monkeys were, shocked by Yashoda suddenly coming from behind. Their eyes became dilated. Looking at the monkey's face, Krishna recognized. My mother has come from behind. Yeah. Tato varuhya pasasara bhitavat. Yeah. Bhitavat, the word is used. Bhita means fear. Bhitavat means as if he was fearful. Because Yashoda was holding a stick in her hand. But why he was not fearful? Because he definitely knew that mother will never beat me. Her love for me is so great that she cannot beat me. He was very super confident about that. Therefore, the word bhitavat is used. Gopyan vadhavan nayama payoginam kshamam praveshtum tapaseritam manaha. In wars, Krishna would never run away. You will see that when he would see the enemy's mace. For example, Varaha Deva is fighting with Hiranyaksha. Correct, no? Lord is not running away, he is fighting. Similarly, Lord Krishna fighting with Banasura. There is no war he misses. He is always a victor in all the battles. But here you find, out of fear of Mother Yashoda, stick is running away. So topmost yogis cannot capture him. They try to capture him, they can't, but Yashoda is running behind to capture him. Yeah. Anvanchamana janani brihachalar Shroni barakranta gati sumadhyama Javena visramsita kesha bandhana Chuta prasunanugati paramrishat. She was following Krishna very quickly. Like we say, no, Yashoda Vyolukala Dhavamanam. She was running very fastly behind Krishna Janani. So, but because she had a big hip and more hefty body, and Krishna is a small child, he could run faster, isn't it? Huh? And Krishna was running, but where he ran? He ran outside the house to the road. Why? Because Krishna thought that on the road many people will be passing by, and if Yashoda catches me, shows the stick, others will definitely show sympathy on me. Huh? So therefore he ran, and he was wondering why Mother Yashoda hasn't caught me till now. I think she is unable to catch up with me. He turned around. At that time he was caught by the right hand. Huh? And her chuta means the flower on her hair fell to the ground. Huh? And so that flower will not add weight to the head of Yashoda. The flower wanted to cooperate and assist in Yashoda's seva. The flower fell to the ground. In this way, she chased after Krishna. She caught him from behind with great affection as a mother. So, actually what was Yashoda's intention in catching him? Many things. One thing is she wanted to teach the absolute truth, how not to speak lies. She wanted to teach, my son should never speak lies, that he should admit honestly that he stole butter. In this way, she scolds Krishna, calling him, hey monkey lover, hey forest dweller, hey heartless, hey house plunderer. Like that she is calling him various names. Like that various names she is chastising. See, that word is used, kritagasam is used. She scolded him as if he was an offender. Yeah. So, at the time, Krishna thought that Mother Yashoda will become cool and then she will wipe my tears. But she wasn't doing that, so he had to wipe with his own hands. That's why it is said, Rudantam muhurnetra yagmam rujantam. With his hands he was wiping his tears. And see the last line in that text number 11. Haste grihitva vishayant avagurat. He was, in fact, she was mildly chastising him. And when she saw that the child is crying, she threw away the stick. She didn't want to frighten the child. But then Krishna told her that, Mother, you are calling me a forest dweller. I think better for me to go to forest and live with the monkeys. Because you told me I am not your lover, I am monkey lover, so I will live with monkeys. And that is the time Yashoda became very worried. Because child sometimes is very naughty and adamant. Like we say, na Bala hut, Stri hut, Sadhu hut, these are all hut we call it. Bala hut means child's adamance is our Dhruva Maharaj going to forest. Similarly, Sadhu hut means there are sadhus who are adamant about attaining the absolute truth at any cost. They will not look behind towards anything in this world. Similarly, Stri hut is shown by Kaikeyi in wanting to make her son the king. Similarly, she thought that maybe my child adamantly goes to forest. How will I go and search? Where will I search? With that fear, she decided to bind Krishna. So, otherwise, why would mother bind the child? She would not do that. She did it out of desire to protect him. That was. So, in this way, there are 4 verses which are going to come in a series now. They are very, very important verses, which is Yashoda binding Krishna. So, actually that will require an exclusive class to discuss about those 4 verses. But at the same time, at least a few words I will say about that. That comes in a little later verse I will show you. Okay, 13, 14 and all I am not explaining because already in the beginning of the class I have given summary about that. 13, 14. That's all covered. Okay, 15, let us go to the 16th one. 16th, 17th you can go. You all can recite the 17th one. Evam swageha damani Yashoda sandadatyapi Gopinam susmayantinam Smayanti vismita bhavat. So, Swageha means in her own Nanda Bhavan or Yashoda Bhavan palace, all the ropes that were present, she gathered them, and Yashoda, and then she tied them all together. Sandadati, She connected them all together and made ropes which are long enough for 100 hasta, we call it. This is one hasta. That is 100 hasta. And Krishna's hip was only one hasta. So how easy it will be to bind. Several times you can bind. But when she was bringing it, she was finding it always 2 inches too short, and she was surprised. Because in Krishna's hand, she would put bangle in the morning, and bangle was coming. Like the bracelets and armlets. She put necklace in Krishna's neck. Neck also was able to have the necklace around. If those things are nupur she would put in the feet, that was also happening. But why only the rope is not going around? And there are various reasons mentioned. One reason is, see, Krishna has many Shaktis, I told you a few minutes ago. These Shaktis, one of the Shaktis is called Vibhuti Shakti, which manifests the Vishwarupa Darshanam in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So that Shakti thought that if Krishna is bound by Yashoda, he can't go for stealing butter in the homes of the other gopis. So I am going to not let Yashoda bind. So therefore, that Shakti came into play. So in this way, the Acharyas like Chakravarti Thakur has given very beautiful explanations on why Yashoda could not bind. Actually, one lesson we can learn from this, all the Shaktis are subordinate to Krishna and they are all saluting and serving him. Very naturally, very joyfully. And they are looking for an opportunity. Just like in a millionaire's house, there are many cars standing outside. There is a formal car to go to company. There is a topless informal car to go with family to beach or someplace. Like that, different type of cars. And all the drivers are standing just outside the palace of the rich man asking, sir, you want to come in this car? So they are all eager to serve him. Like that, the Shaktis are serving the Lord. Like that he says. So now when somebody hears, they may become envious. Hey, Krishna will be served and I have to serve. Why can't someone serve me? That's the question that comes in anyone's mind in this conditioned platform. Actually, we all have got burnt out in this world by bogus masters in millions of lifetimes. After which, we have developed distrust and fear in becoming a servant of anybody in this world. So as soon as you tell somebody you have to become servant, hey, no, I don't want to be servant of anybody. I want to be boss of everybody. We think like that. Whereas being servant of the Lord is a very joyful thing. Like Arjuna is servant of Krishna, but who is driving the chariot? Arjuna is driving? Krishna is driving his chariot, isn't it? Arjuna is sitting behind, Krishna is driving. So when devotee becomes Lord's servant, the Lord becomes devotee's servant. Yashoda is a pure devotee, so Krishna becomes bound by her. You can see that. So it's in our advantage to be the Lord's servant. Prabhupada was giving an example I heard. Imagine you are a Karodpati's son, but you picked up a quarrel with your father and went to some faraway place where you are wearing tattered clothes, you are begging and eating. How foolish it is, isn't it? You just have to return to your father and stay connected with him and don't quarrel with him and you can lead a happy life. Similarly, the jiva, by being servant of Krishna, he only stands to gain. There is no loss for him. In this way, here it is mentioned that when Yashoda was trying to bind him, she couldn't bind him. See, the second line says, Gopinam Susmayantinam. All the gopis are smiling at Yashoda and saying, look at your son today, what magic he is doing, you are not able to bind him. Don't waste your time with this child. Go to kitchen and do your duties. But Yashoda, it is said, Smayanti Vismita Abhavat. She was also smiling along with gopis. Vismita means she was watching with great surprise. What has happened to my child today? He is showing some magic. I am not able to bind him. So this is one lesson we learn, that we have to be curious in the path of devotional service. Why curious? Things will not go the way you plan. So, like we say, man proposes, God disposes. So whenever things don't go according to your plan, you should curiously watch, what is Krishna trying to do with me? What is Krishna's plan? Let me align with that. One should think like that, rather than become angry or depressed. Depressed in Tamaguna and angry in Rajaguna. Most people. Here she is not able to bind Krishna. Is she angry? She is not able to bind Krishna. Is she depressed? She is smiling. Smayanti. That's one quality of Yashoda. Another quality said in the next verse. Swamatu svinna gatraja visrasta kabarasrajaha prishtva parishramam krishnaha kripayasit swabandhane. Yeah. So, here is a Swamatu. She bound Krishna with the motherly affection. So, that's a very important word, because with mamata, if one does devotion service, like you can see in India, generally children are very responsible in terms of caring for parents and brothers and sisters. I'm telling about good families where children think that I will grow up and I will work hard, I will make money and keep parents happy, I will build a house for them, or I will get my sisters married. They are very responsible. And they consider the relatives to be their own. Correct, no? Like that we should treat Krishna as our own. As you treat them to be very dear to you. Actually, we treat our blood relatives to be very dear because of bodily consciousness, dehatma buddhi. But if that consciousness can come in serving Krishna, Prahlad says in one verse, when you go to bed at night, you make a very comfortable bed to sleep, correct, no? Especially if it is winter, you will keep 2-3 blankets. And also make sure you have a good pillow, and you have mosquito net. You have everything arranged for your good sleep. Just as you take care of yourself, like that you serve Krishna, he says. Just as you want to be caring for yourself selfishly, selflessly care for Krishna, he says. So that is actually mamata. Like sometimes if a child falls on the ground, you can see any mother will take the child and dust the body of the child. Isn't it? You can see that. So sometimes a child passes urine in mother's lap only, and mother doesn't care about it. Of course, nowadays people have plastic sheet or something. So the child can pass urine in the plastic sheet, not on my lap. But actually, traditionally in Vedic times, if a child passes urine in the mother's sari, she would never feel anything has gone wrong. She considers child her own, Swamatu, like that. So another line says that Visrasta Kabarasraja means she threw away her watch and forgot her lunch box, as we say. We have to have a wholehearted consciousness in service, not other things lingering in the back of our mind. So Baladev Vidyabhushan gives a nice example in Bhagavad Gita. He says, when a servant is fanning the king, he should not think in his mind, next month my salary will be increased, and I can build a house, I can purchase a vehicle. You should not be thinking about his family and money and everything. You should serve the king, thinking of whom? Thinking of whom? King. Similarly, while serving Krishna, don't think of anything else, he says. That's called Visrasta Kabarasraja. Full absorption. Whatever service in hand you are doing, focus on that. Then he says, Drishtva Parishramam Krishna. Yashoda's face was perspiring, her hair was disheveled, she was breathing heavily, trying to bind the child, and Krishna felt pity for the mother, sympathy for the mother. And he said, okay, now I'll agree to be Swabandhane, he says, agree to be bound. So I'm going to conclude with the crest jewel verses recitation of the 3 very important verses glorifying Yashoda as the topmost devotee. Please repeat this 19th verse. Yevam sandarshita hyanga harina britya vashyata svavashenapi krishnena yasyedam seshwaram vashe. Yeah, read the translation, very important. Who has the mic with you? One more mic you have? Yeah, read the translation, very important.
O Maharaj Parikshit, this entire universe with its great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma and Lord Indra is under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet the Supreme Lord has one transcendental attribute. He comes under the control of his devotees. This was now exhibited by Krishna in this pastime.
Although Lord is all-pervading, I told you, He is present in every atom, He is present as super soul in every atom, present in the heart. Here you find He has become localized and bound by Yashoda. Although He is Satchidananda, He is the most happiest, but here he is crying. You see that? Leather is saying. And he is actually called as Purnakam or Aptakam, but here he is Tanyakam. So, one specific word is used. It's called Britya Vashyata. It's there in this verse. Second line. Harina Britya Vashyata. He is controlled by his devotee, servant. Let us read one more, second verse, glorification. Nemam virincho nabhavo na shrirapyanga samshraya prasadam lebhire gopi yattat prapa vimuktidat. Virincha means Brahma, Bhava means Shiva, Shri means Lakshmi. Neither Brahma nor Shiva nor Lakshmi got the kind of mercy that Yashoda got from Krishna, he's saying. See, Brahma is servant of the Lord, and Shiva is called as the Sakha, friend of the Lord, and Lakshmi is called as Ardhangini of the Lord, better half of Vishnu. But all these personalities got lot of mercy, but not the kind of special mercy Yashoda got, he says. What is the special mercy? Krishna became a baby and lied on Yashoda's lap and drank milk from her body, from her breast. As a child, this type of mercy nobody got. He's saying. Comparison of Yashoda with other great devotees. So, please read this last para here, very important. The word Vimuktidat. The word Vimuktidat. Read that one. Yeah.
The word Bimuktidat is also significant. There are different types of liberation such as Sayuj, Salokya, Sarupya, Srishti and Samipya. But Bimukti means special mukti. When after liberation one is situated on the platform of Prema Bhakti, one is said to have achieved Bimukti, special mukti.
Jnanis think of a samsara mochan as mukti. Get rid of material world, no more birth and death, that's mukti. No, that's a very preliminary stage of mukti. The highest stage of mukti is muktir hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vavastiti. To return back to your swarupa in the spiritual world and see Krishna eye to eye, love him and serve him. That is actual mukti. Yeah. Yashoda naturally acts in such an exalted position in loving affairs. She is therefore Nitya Siddha, Prabhupada says. Last verse we will recite this. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutah jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhakti matamiha. See, Nayam Sukha Apo. Krishna did not get so much satisfaction and happiness from anybody. As much as the satisfaction and delight he derived in the company of his mother, Yashoda, Gopika, Sutaha. So Krishna is called Gopika Sutta, son of Yashoda. See, the meaning of the word Yashoda means, Yash means fame, Da means give. Nara, Da, one who gives Narayana to you. Correct, no? Our body is called Klesha, Da, that gives trouble. Similarly, Yashoda is called Yasho, one who gives fame to Krishna. What is the fame? Because Krishna is known as Bhagavan all over the Vedic literature. But she gave an extra fame to Krishna by showing to the world how you can control Krishna by love. After this chapter, next chapter, you will see Krishna is bound by the ropes and is coming out of the house dragging the grinding mortar. Correct, no? At that time, all the demigods are watching from the sky. See, in the road, sometimes the thief goes with a handcuff, you have seen. And do they look at everybody or they put their head down? Correct. Now, why they do that? It's a shame. People will know that he is a prisoner. People will, they will, look upside down. I mean, they will look up and down at him and think that he is a thief. Everybody will talk like that. Whereas Krishna is also handcuffed in terms of bound by the ropes. But he is coming out of the house I'm looking at the sky and telling all demigods, you all can look at me. I have no shyness. You know why? You want to tell them, you demigods, you are all stuck in your piety. You are just going to heavenly planets and enjoying the heavenly delights. You don't know pure devotees enjoy better happiness than you. Like Yashoda. See, Yashoda is able to control me and bind me by her love. But learn love from her. Go and get Bhiksha of love from Yashoda. Like that is telling the demigods. So this is the beauty of Krishna, is he never feels ashamed to do such things like riding the chariot of Arjuna, or bound by Mother Yashoda, or running away from Yashoda. Because he's actually interested in our ultimate welfare, of awakening our pure love for him. So great jnanis, yogis, and they cannot catch up with Yashoda's platform. Read the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service.
But he is not as easily accessible to mental speculators, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self.
Yeah. If you are in Dehatma Buddhi, or we become jnanis, we become yogis. Jnani is only thinking of his own samsara mochan. Yogi is only thinking of getting siddhis to show off to people. A karmi is thinking of how to get more money to enjoy life. All are having reference point as themselves. They are selfishly. Bhaktas, like Yashoda, they are pure devotees. Even Srila Prabhupada, if you see, is thinking about all the suffering souls. Traveling worldwide, distributing Krishna consciousness. And pure devotees are thinking, who is Krishna's mother? Who is Krishna's father? Who is Krishna's friend? Which are the animals which are very dear to Krishna? Which animals? Which is the mountain dear to Krishna? Which is the river dear to Krishna? Who are the topmost devotees? So if you keep on thinking like this, then where will you go? You will go to Krishna because you are thinking of Krishna and what is dear to Krishna. Whereas if you think of I want this, you will remain here only, in the material world. Therefore, karmi, jnani, yogi, they are all stuck in the material world. Bhakta is the only one who can go back there. We should learn from Srila Prabhupada and his purports how we divert our attention from being selfish to that selfless pure love for God. As we read in this chapter. Very, very beautiful purports. So this is a very short chapter, just 22 verses only, Not many, just 23 verses, 24 verses, 23 verses only. So you can read at your leisure more nicely. I tried to cover it little swiftly today. And today is Diwali day. It's very, very auspicious to recite these verses and meditate on this pastime of Yashoda and Yashoda and Krishna. And the whole month we offer lamb to Yashoda Damodar. His Holiness Radhagovind Maharaj was telling, Yashoda started binding Krishna in the morning and she was successful in the evening. Morning to evening it took her to finally bind him with love. But Maharaj said, Yashoda to एक दिन के लिए बांध कर रखा, हम लोग पूरे महीने बांध कर रखते हैं. He was telling. We bind Krishna and every day we offer lamb. What do you gain by offering the lamb? When you are offering the lamb, you are focusing on someone. Correct, no? Focusing on Yashoda, focusing on Krishna. And by lighting up the lamp, traditionally in South India, the sanctum is very dark. When you go, there will not be light because you are not given easy access to Lord in many of the big temples. But if you really want to see God, you have to request the pujari to take a lamp and show the lotus feet of the Lord, navel of the Lord, chest of the Lord, hands, Srihasta Kamalam, Pada Kamalam, and then you will also see the Kamala Nayanam, all that they will show you with the lamp, isn't it? That means showing lamp to the Lord, one of the meanings is you are highlighting Him and not highlighting ourselves. Correct? No? That's one meaning. Another meaning of showing the lamp is actually the wick, is the wick in which we soak the ghee. That is our false ego. So we are burning our false ego. And we are offering it to Krishna to glorify Him. Otherwise our false ego puts us in Dehatma Buddhi about ourselves. So that's another meaning. And then by highlighting this pastime in this man and bowing down to Yashoda Damodar daily, we hope and pray that someday a drop of that ocean of love Yashoda has for Krishna will awaken in us. So, in this way, on this auspicious Diwali day, many things happened. It's Indra Puja day, and also Krishna killed Bhaumasura also on the same day. And also he performed this pastime of butter stealing. I mean, earlier he was stealing in others' homes, now he stole in his own home on this particular day. Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar ki, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki, Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.